This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.
Yo, what up, though, people? I'd like to welcome you back to the Keep It a C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. If this your first time tuning in, salute to you. Do me a favor, please hit the sub button, like button, and the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you agree with something, disagree, want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me an Uber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. Make sure you share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment, just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. Funniest thing that I seen over the weekend has to be the end of the Kansas City Chiefs game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Chiefs had the ball at the end of the game, 4th and 16. They got bailed out by pass interference by the Cincinnati Bengals, went on to kick game-winning field goal. And I'm not laughing at the play, at the call, because I think the refs got it right. Now, I do believe the NFL and the refs need to be more consistent with the call, but I don't have a problem with the call. I do believe it was pass interference. But what I do find funny is after the game on social media, you got a bunch of NFL fans saying how the NFL wants Mahomes to be the face of the league and they're cheating for him. The refs are cheating for him and they're trying to rig it so he could be the first quarterback to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with nothing you guys are saying, but most of you fans are the same people that 5-6 years ago when Tom Brady was winning all the Super Bowls, you guys were rooting for Mahomes to be the guy to come in and save the day and be the new guy to get Brady out of there. Brady's gone now. Mahomes is the man. And he has gone from the hero to the villain right in front of our eyes, and most people don't even realize it. So I definitely found that funny. Another thing I found funny about that game, the Bengals went to 0-2. This is Joe Burrow's 5th season. 4 of them seasons now, he started 0-2, including the last 3 years in a row. Yikes. Now, the one year that he did start 1-0 was the year that they went to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying history is going to repeat itself, but history shows us that when Cincy starts 0-2 under Joe Burrow, they don't go to the Super Bowl. Take it for what it's worth. Question of the day, though, the New Orleans Saints, are they for real? At 2-0, keep it a C note, let me know. Averaging 45 points right now. Now, I know me, like most NFL fans, after week 1 when they put up 47, we thought it was no big deal because they were playing the Panthers. But I don't know. Week 2, they went into Dallas, put up 44 points on the Cowboys. And on top of that, pause, held the $60 million man and his high-priced receiver to 19 points. And Marshawn Lattimore, their best cornerback, didn't even play. It's almost convincing. They're making a hard argument to say that they're not for real. But again, it's only 2 weeks. And I will say this. A lot of people may say Dallas is a good team and they have a top defense and all of that, but I don't think Dallas is good as people say they are this year. And we all know with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, especially in his history, You get these type of games from Dallas. They'll lose a game like this, like get smoked and you didn't expect it, and then they turn around and win a game against somebody you don't expect them to win again. So this is kind of their history. So I'm not ready to say the Saints are for real yet, but I do believe that they're trending in the right direction. That's just my thoughts, though. But again, I'm asking you guys. Are the New Orleans Saints for real? Yes, no. Keep it a C note. Let me know. After week 2, well, before these Monday night football games, because, you know, the Eagles got a chance to go 2-0. We got a couple teams that's still undefeated. Some of them may be a surprise. Some of them may not. Buffalo, I think we all can agree, is not a surprise. Houston, the Texans, we can all probably agree that's not a surprise. Pittsburgh may be a surprise. The Chargers may be a surprise. KC, no surprise. Minnesota. And you got New Orleans, Tampa Bay. You can decide if they're a surprise or not. I want to ask you, though, because a lot of teams start 2-0, and most of them teams don't usually go to the Super Bowl. Sometimes you get a 2-0 team that really sets their foot from the gun bus, and you like, whoa, they going to be established. So keep it a C note. Out of these 2-0 teams, let me ask you first, which team do you believe in most? And I know most people are going to say Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. But if that was your automatic answer, just take them out of the equation. Which one of these other 2-0 teams do you believe in? Keep it a C note. Me personally, I'm going to have to say Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers. I believe they got a good team all the way around the board. Baker Mayfield, he just continued to look like he's getting better in that offense. So I believe they can be a good 2-0 team. Now, the team I don't believe in out of these 2-0 teams, it's a lot of them. I don't believe in the Chargers. Justin Herbert, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, but I don't think their receiving core is that good. And I get it right now. Everybody is all hoop, hooray about J.K. Dobbins. And I'm even excited because I got J.K. Dobbins on one of my fantasy football teams. But at the end of the day, we've seen this movie with J.K. Dobbins. Soon as it looks like there's going to be one of them breakout seasons with him, he's on IR. So I really don't take them serious at all. I also don't believe in the Vikings, though. I know you got Justin Jefferson, top 3, top 2. A lot of people say top receiver in the league. But I'm sorry, I'm still not sold on Sam Darnold. So I don't really think that 2-0 team is going to be a factor down the stretch. I also don't believe in Justin Fields, but I'm pretty sure everybody already knows that. But what's your take on it, though? Give me a 2-0 team that you believe is a real threat and one that you believe isn't a threat. And pardon me, I meant to say the Texans as well. They would actually be my number one, just a tad bit over Tampa Bay. So pardon me for that. Call me an Uber if you want me to. How about the 0-2 teams? We got a couple 0-2 teams. The Ravens, the Bengals, Colts, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Denver, Giants, Carolina, and the Rams. Give me one 0-2 team that we should be worried about. Keep it a C note. Me personally, and I know a lot of people going to say I'm tripping, but I think we should be worried about the Ravens. And I already told you with Joe Burrow and the Bengals, this is an every season thing. This is where they do start 0-2. This is nothing new to them. But I think all of Lamar Jackson with the Patrick Mahomes is his kryptonite. I think all of that talk him not being able to get it done last season. And I think if you really look at that opening season game, I think he put a lot into trying to win that game, only to fall short at the end for a lot of bad passes that he threw. To me, I could be wrong, but I think that in Lamar Jackson, week 1 was his Super Bowl. And I think that him not doing good in that game or not ending the way he was supposed to end, I think that right there is going to be what really is the beginning of a bad season for them. You seen it in week 2. He wasn't aggressive. I'm telling you, week 1, he wanted to win that game against Kansas City. I think coming out of there brokenhearted, that might have broke his spirits for the season. I might be wrong, but that's my thoughts on it. One team in the NFL right now that's 0-2 that we shouldn't be worried about. I'm going to keep it a C-note and tell you right now, and it's not me being biased at all, but the Rams should not be worried about being 0-2. I'm not worried about the Rams being 0-2. Again, this is not me being biased because this is my team. I'm just not convinced. Started off the season, you had an offensive tackle on the suspension list. You had one that was injured already. First couple of drives of the first game, you lose Puka. He goes on IR. You lose a couple members of the offensive line. So I think the first couple of weeks of the season will be rough for the Rams, but it'll be like it was last season. They'll get all their guys healthy towards the end of the season, and they'll make a run. The Cooper Kupp thing, the injury in week 2, that's rough. I'm hearing he's in a walking boot, so he may be out for a couple weeks. If Stafford doesn't have Puka and Cooper, it definitely may be a difficult couple weeks. And you got San Fran coming in off a loss. But I'm still not worried for the Rams. Fantasy advice, I know a lot of people was talking Tyler Johnson. I know a lot of people was talking Robinson. But if Cooper Kupp has to miss time, I'm telling you right now, especially if you're a fantasy football guy or girl, fan period, Jordan Whittington, LA Rams, he's a wide receiver, built just like Puka, pause, might be a little bit faster than Puka. So keep your eyes on him. If he's available in your league, I think you should grab him. If Cooper Kupp has to miss time, I believe Whittington will break out. That's just me giving you an exclusive. But keep it a C-note with me. Which 0-2 team should we be worried about? And which 0-2 team shouldn't we be worried about? Keep it a C-note, let me know. Week 2, I got to give you the ugly truth. I'm going to start it off with the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said already, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys is as good as people say they are. They may have a top wide receiver and one of the top defensive players in the league, but as a team, I don't think they built like that. The ugly truth is, I don't even think they're the best football team in Texas. I'm going to keep it a C-note right now. You could call me an Uber if you want to call me an Uber. C.J. Stroud, the Houston Texans, they are the best team in the NFL that plays in Texas. If I'm wrong, let me know about it. You know what I mean? Here's the ugly truth. There was a lot of talk about the Jets. It's a lot of talk about Garrett Wilson is this, and the Jets could be a Super Bowl team with Aaron Rodgers. Here's the ugly truth. The New York Jets, they look like they looked when they had Trevor Siemian and Zach Wilson at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has made a couple difficult throws, but this team looks as bad as they were with those other guys as quarterback. I know people going to say Aaron coming off a major injury and he's 40. The truth is, like I've been telling y'all for the last 2 years, his last year in Green Bay, he didn't look all that good. Pause. So him at 40 off a major injury, I just don't see it. I'm keeping it a C note. Aaron Rodgers right now gives me Trevor Siemian, Zach Wilson vibes. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Here's the ugly truth, right? Talked about Deshaun Watson on last episode. I was a big Deshaun Watson fan. I thought Deshaun Watson at one point in time was top 7 quarterback in the NFL. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was wrong about that or not. But shout out to my homie Vito, because a couple years ago, everybody grind Vito up because we did our top 10 quarterbacks. And this is when Baker Mayfield was still with the Browns. It was the year he first got benched, I believe. But coming into that season, Vito had Baker Mayfield as a top 10 quarterback and a top 5 quarterback in the AFC. Vito, you had it wrong at the time, Vito. But right now, I keep it a C note with you and everybody and say it in front of the world. If I had to choose right now out of Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson, and I got to give him top dollar, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. I don't know what's wrong with Deshaun Watson, and I get it. They won in week 2. They're 1-1. But that boy is no bueno. I'm just keeping it a C note. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Here is the ugly truth, and I get it, it's 2 weeks, and I touched on it, pause, last week or last episode when we talked Caleb Williams, and I just said it about Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to say the same thing about Caleb Williams. Right now, Caleb Williams don't look no different at quarterback for the Chicago Bears than Justin Fields. That boy just don't take off as much as Fields. That boy inaccurate, and I get it. He's a rookie, and I get it. It's only 2 games. But if we're going to hype somebody up like they're the next best thing, they got to come into the NFL ready. Right now, the Bears look exactly how they looked when they had Justin Fields as their quarterback. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Last thing, I'll say this, the ugly truth. And I know people going to feel some type of way about it. I don't know how you want to do it because it's defensive end. I don't care if you want to do edge rusher. Right now, Aidan Hutchinson, Detroit Lions, he's a top 3 defensive line player. That boy is a monster. I get it, Detroit lost to Tampa. But what, he had like 4.5 sacks? But I'm not just saying that one game. Since he's came into the NFL, he's basically transformed that defense by himself. I mean, I know they got the other kid that they drafted, I believe, the same year as him. But Aidan Hutchinson has become a monster by himself. I know we got guys like Bosa and all of them. I will say Garrett is number 1, but a lot of them other guys, we really can't judge them because they're usually playing on great defenses. Like Bosa get busy. Shout out Vito. Shout out my guy Sheed, all my Niners Nations fan. Bosa get busy, but we really don't know what Bosa is because he's always played on a defense. They got Fred Warner, Ward, this person, that person. We really don't know what he is. Aidan Hutchinson is top 3 defensive line player. I don't care if you want to say defensive end, edge rusher. Aidan Hutchinson's top 3. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. First 2 weeks of the NFL, football has been horrible. Scoring is down. Offensive lines look like they can't block. Quarterbacks can't throw the football. A lot of these quarterbacks can't take pressure. I want to ask a question. Why has the football product that they're pushing in the NFL been so bad the first 2 weeks of the season? Keep it a casino. Let me know. I seen something recently where I believe it was Kurt Warner. He said that more and more NFL teams are not playing their players or starters in the preseason, and that's starting to have an effect on the NFL, and it's starting to have an effect on the productivity. Keep it a casino. Y'all agree with that? And shout out my guy, Sean McVay, because Sean McVay is an innovator. And I believe Sean McVay is probably one of the first coaches to start sitting everybody that started. And, you know, everybody just pick up on trends. So I think this one may be a trend that he's picked up on. I mean, that the NFL has picked up on. But I say that may be partially what it is. But we're just in a watered down league. Everything is synthetic right now. And I mean everything from the way these kids work out and train. I used to think it was just basketball, but I see now it's every sport. Everything is synthetic. These kids is even down to the Gatorade and everything. Workouts is synthetic. They got them doing a bunch of bull crap that don't help you in the season. Dudes coming right into the season, hammy injuries from the gun bus. Like, you got to be kidding me. You take that in effect with, I don't care what nobody say, the players may be a lot faster these days, but the talent isn't there. The talent is, I watched about 11 games on Sunday, week 2. Out of them 11 games, that's 22 teams. I've seen about 15 teams where their offensive line was just trash. Just trash. Quarterback trash. You got every quarterback now taking off. You got most teams blitzing now because these kids don't know how to handle the blitz. They're taking off every play. I like the kid Jade McDaniels from Washington, but I don't think he's going to make it through a season. He pull the ball down too much and run. Somebody going to break him up. I'm just keeping it a C note, but I think the way they working out, the way these kids is not really as talented. They're getting kids mostly on the field now because they can run fast. That's it. They might not be. The running back game is totally dead in the NFL. The tight ends, pause, is on the verge of being extinct. It's just, the product is just bad right now. I'm just keeping it a C note. And one thing I will say about Sean McVay, because I do believe he started this trend, Sean McVay is my guy, and when he first started doing that, I kind of understood it because he was saying F them picks and bringing in proven players. So I can understand that if you got a veteran team or you got a team that been together a couple years, they don't play in the preseason. But when half of your team is new or you got the most rookies on any roster, I don't care what round they are and how good they look in practice or in scrimmages. You got to play them guys in the preseason somewhat. You have to. And this is for everybody, but it's especially for McVay. Some of the things McVay is still trying to get away with in the NFL, he was getting away when he first came in the NFL, but you got to switch some of that stuff up. Some of that stuff isn't working no more. And I know somebody's mindset, and it seemed like it's the Rams' mindset. Okay, we struck on one good guy in the third round. Maybe next year we can go ahead and get 3 people in the third round. And that doesn't always work, and I think that's what the Rams have been trying to do the last couple of years. McVay has to switch it up. We shouldn't have been seeing Jared Verse for the first time in week 1. He should have got some playing time. Kobe, Durant, all them guys on the defense, they're not proven, none of them. They should have all been out there. I'm just keeping it a C note. But again, that's the question for you. Why has the NFL been so bad thus far? Keep it a C note. Let me know. Sunday's MVPs, I got 3 nominees. Alvin Kamara got busy against Dallas. He looked like he was back in his prime. 115 on the ground, 3 touchdowns, 2 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. DK Metcalf, 10 catches, 129 yards and a touchdown in an overtime win. And you got Chris Godwin, 7 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown in a win against Detroit. Keep it a C note. Who's your MVP for Sunday? I got to go Alvin Kamara. That boy got busy, made Dallas look bad. And I don't really care that he made Dallas look bad, but he definitely got busy. That's who I picked for MVP. Monday Night Football, we got Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles. Keep it a C note. Who you got? I know A.J. Brown is out, but I'm still taking the Eagles. I do not trust the Falcons. I don't even trust Kirk Cousins right now. He looks shaky in week 1. Until I see better from the Falcons, I've got to stay away from them. I'm taking the Eagles. Before I get out of here, I do want to say over the weekend we had Canelo Alvarez, Edgar, Berlanga. And it was a lot of talk about Edgar. The kid shouldn't have got that fight. First of all, shout out Canelo on a win. Put on another masterpiece. But a lot of people said the kid Berlanga shouldn't have been there. And maybe he shouldn't have been there. But what I will say, he didn't back down. I thought after he got put on the canvas, he was going to fold. He was going to start running. He actually stood toe-to-toe, exchanged punches with Canelo for multiple rounds. So he might not have should have been there, but he did a lot better against Canelo than a lot of these other dudes did, from Jamie to especially Charlo. Berlanga did way better in that fight than Charlo did. Charlo was just there for a check. Berlanga might have been there for a check too, but at least he was throwing punches. He was actually trying to rumble. So shout out to him. I know Oscar said he probably won't get no more pay-per-view events. That might be the case, but he might be a good young fighter, especially up there at that weight class. So shout out to him. Everybody's talking Bud Crawford, Canelo, Alvarez. A lot of people saying that Bud don't get this fight, he's going to retire. Look, I didn't want to see the fight, but I'm going to keep it a C note. If this all we got or Bud's going to retire, I like to see the fight. And I'm not saying that Bud can't win the fight. And I'm not saying that Bud can't hurt Canelo. But he's trying to come up to a weight class and do a lot of stuff that hasn't been done. Berlanga hit Canelo with some solid punches. Bud is coming from smaller weight classes. Not saying that matters, but I don't think Bud punches is putting Canelo down. Will Bud be able to dance around a little bit more? Yes. And then the flip side to that, I've seen Bud take a lot of punches. Can he take a lot of Canelo punches? So again, I didn't want to see the fight, but if this is all we have, I'll take the fight. I'm keeping it a C note. Last but not least, Danny Swift Garcia, straight out of Philly. Co-main event fight. His dad ended up throwing the towel in the fight, and I had no problem with that whatsoever. But my message to Danny Garcia would be this. Listen, you was asked in the ring, is it over? Are you thinking retirement? You said you don't know. It ain't nothing to talk about, Danny. It's over for you. You was looking like the Tupac line, flabby and sick like Larry Holmes. That was you, Danny Garcia. Shout out to you from Philly. But 2 fights in 4 years, that's all you need to know. It's over for you. You're no longer in shape. Your punches have no effect on anybody. And you went down from a jab, so you obviously can't take a punch no more. Danny Garcia, respect from Philly, because you're from Philly. But respectfully, it's time for you to bow out, bro. I'm just keeping it a C note. I'm about to end this episode, but I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This your first time tuning in. Salute to you. Do me a favor. Hit the sub button, like button, and a bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you disagree, you agree, want to correct me on something, want to call me an Uber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. Make sure you share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. As always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I holla at y'all.
This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.